Good evening, everybody. Homeland Security Secretary Jeh Johnson flat out refuses to acknowledge whether the Obama government will deport tens of thousands of illegal immigrant children who've crossed our borders this year. And a stunning new report straight from the government itself proves once again that the Obama administration has tried to deceive the public about the number of deportations on the president's watch. Here's Homeland Security Secretary Jeh Johnson doing his absolute best to avoid answering a direct question on what will happen to the children who've entered our country illegally.
Are they going to be deported or not?
There is a deportation proceeding that is commenced against illegal migrants, including children. We are looking at ways to create additional options for dealing with the children in particular.
Trying to get an answer to, will most of them end up staying?
We need to find more efficient, effective ways to turn this tide around.
Johnson went on to claim that the Obama administration has already, quote, stemmed the tide. But new information released by Immigration and Customs Enforcement contradicts that statement. The statement is simply false. In 2008, the year before President Obama took office, more than 8,000 illegal immigrants under the age of 18 were deported. Last year, that number dropped to just over 1,600. And a statement from White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest today may reveal the true intent of the Obama administration in this so-called humanitarian crisis.
What we're seeking is additional authority that can be used by the Secretary of Homeland Security to deal with the situation in a humanitarian way, in a way that's in line with our laws, which means that those who seek to stay in this country go through the due process that's afforded them through the immigration courts.
And we'll be joined here in moments by Congressman Blake Farenthold, who toured the McAllen, Texas facility in the Rio Grande Valley that houses many of these minors. And Mayor Allen begin tonight with someone who's seen firsthand the huge numbers of young illegal immigrant children piled into one of the Border Patrol facilities in Texas. He says these kids are being held hostage by immigration reform zealots who are pushing amnesty or nothing, and they need to be repatriated, he says, immediately. Joining us, Congressman Blake Farenthold, who serves on a number of committees, including Oversight and Government Reform and Judiciary. Congressman, good to have you with us. The children that are being piled, as I just said, into this facility, your reaction, your thoughts on what's happening in McAllen, at least.
It's unbelievable, the flood of children. There's a facility built for 400 adults. It's like a jail, and they've got 2,000-3,000 children crammed in there. It's just absolutely horrible living conditions.
The number of illegal crossings has risen by 178%. The Rio Grande Border Patrol sector in Texas has taken the brunt of that, I think, as you know. Let's take a look at the number of increases in young illegal immigrants flooding into the United States now. Rio Grande up as 178%, as I said. Laredo, 13%. Del Rio, 79%. Big Bend, up 59%. In El Paso, 33% higher. In Arizona, the Yuma sector, up 39%. In California, up 59%. In San Diego and El Centro, up 41%. This is astounding. No one in this administration, so they claim, was aware of what was going on. Congress, unaware. How could this be orchestrated? And when I say orchestrated, I'm not going to say necessarily that this administration orchestrated it, but the reality is someone is behind all of this, and is Congress going to find out who?
I think we're going to look at it. The real issue is that the people in Central America, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras think that children who get to the United States are going to get to stay. It's a misinterpretation and a misreading of the president's DACA policy. But here's the problem. Once they get here, they ask for asylum, claim a credible fear of violence when they go home, and they're stuck in our immigration courts for years. It's been taking 3 years to deal with a couple of thousand. Now that we have 60,000, God knows knows how long it's going to take to work them through the system if we don't get some more judges to handle this, and if we don't change the law to treat Central Americans the way we do children from Mexico and deport them promptly.
Yeah, and there is no reason in the world that children should not be treated precisely the same, whether they come from Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, whatever the Central American country, and Mexico. But, Congressman,
the law
you suggested...
the law is different.
I'm sorry?
I think the law is different. It's a
I know it's different.
law
I'm saying
that
there's
needs
no
to be changed.
But what I said was there's no reason for there to be a difference in their treatment by U.S. Authorities. And secondly, the very idea that the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security will not answer a straightforward question, a direct, straightforward question on what will happen with these children. You just said that that you believe that they're going to be turned around and sent home. The administration now is basically saying that isn't going to happen. They may be here to stay. Right. And these numbers that we have just shared with the audience, these may be small in comparison to what we're about to experience.
Now, we need to change the law to allow them to be deported promptly. The administration, under current law, they get a hearing, and it could take years to get that hearing if they show up for the hearing.
No, they don't show up for the hearing. The vast majority of them don't. So all of this becomes a fiction. It becomes just one deception after another, sometimes purposely perpetrated on the American people. Other times, I think many in Congress may not even know the laws themselves. Obviously, you do, and your colleagues on your committees. But when we look at what's going on here, how can we tolerate an administration that has basically said, after being criticized for waving these children in, that they're going to wave more in because they, in fact, are going to be allowed to stay in this country, it now appears.
Well, the only way to stop the flood is to send them back. We had a flood of Brazilians entering this country a few years back. Once we did expedited deportation and repatriation, that flood stopped. There's a proven way to stop this. I think Congress can pass a law repealing that law that treated the Central American kids differently than the Mexican children, and we can get back on that. We're still going to be stuck with the ones that are here already, having to work them through the system. Obama's original proposal for more judges is a good one. We just got to figure out where we're going to cut to pay for it.
All right. Blake Farenthold, good to have you with us.
Good to be here.